Is it okay to call a fat person fat?
100% it's okay to call a fat person fat. I think it's more respectful of a fat person to call them fat. And my experience with fat people is don't pretend they're not. You're fat. But if you're fat and you own it, epic.
But I don't think...
Well, we are back with Katie Hopkins today, and if you've been watching my videos, you know I'm a huge fan of Katie Hopkins, immense respect for her. And, you know, she calls a spade, says it like it is. And here she's being interviewed by Rob Moore. They're talking about various topics of interest in the modern world. And yeah, Katie Hopkins, as usual, is being very forthright and doesn't hold back. So let's get into the video and see what she has to say.
To view the narcissism, it's unfortunate it's sort of been placed upon them, the relentless mirroring of self or observing of others and trying to replicate. It's a narcissism, but it's not found, it's pushed on them. And we did that, and that's terrible.
Who's we?
The generation that brought in internet or just went, oh, this is exciting, oh, let's have a little Google, that made all of our kids absolutely monopolised by images of themselves or what they aspire to be. That is narcissism in a new age. But I think actually, at my age, my people, older people, I think much less actually. There's a quest for real. There's a quest for a thirst for authentic. There's a real yearning to be with people who are really normal, as in really weird maybe, but who don't have pretenses, who aren't trying to keep up appearances. You know, I think one of the reasons I guess I've been so lucky recently is people can watch my stuff. Most are laughing at me, I think, or with me, but I just put it all out there. And a lot of people excuse me as being drunk. So I do this thing on a Friday night, it's a pub online, and people will say, oh my God, she's worse for wear. Or, oh, Katie's obviously quite a few drinks in, but I'm not, like now, you know, it's just how they can't work out why someone isn't pretending things. So they say you're drunk, and I'm not. It's just I'm not paid for by anyone. I don't have anyone to please. I don't need to pretend to be polite, or I'm not constrained by anything because I don't have an employer. I don't have anything to lose. So this is it. If you don't like it, that's also fine. Like, yeah, but I'm not drunk.
Yeah, she raises a couple of good points there about basically the catastrophic damage caused by the advent of first the internet, then smartphones, and social media. Absolutely catastrophic, certainly for young people. I'm absolutely shocked when I see how some parents I know who basically just let their little kids, not just teenagers, but little kids, you know, 4-year-olds, 5-year-olds, 7-year-olds, whatever, just spend all their time on tablets and screens and, you know, being hypnotized and basically brainwashed by whatever goes into their brain, you know, and just not doing stuff in the real world. And it's all so fake. It really is fake. I mean, all these things are useful tools, obviously. I think we can all agree. You know, we're all here on YouTube. I'm making a YouTube video. You're watching a YouTube video. And these are fantastic tools. They're amazing tools. But they can easily be overused. Let's put it that way. And I think for young children, overuse is catastrophic. Obviously, none of this existed when I was growing up. I'm 59 years old. So, you know, I was a working adult before I even had a computer, much less internet and all that stuff. But, of course, we had television. Television has had its own effects over the decades, and it's largely been replaced by the internet. And I know for myself, I'm a bit of an internet addict myself, a YouTube addict. Not really a social media addict, at least, but I do use it just, you know, because I like to keep up with what's going on so I can comment on these videos, for example. But it's very easy. I mean, it's easy enough for adults to just waste their lives on this stuff and it's even easier for kids to do so. And then what she said about authenticity, yeah, absolutely. Like, the real world is actually where it's at. You know, we do all need to touch grass, probably more often. Certainly I do. I absolutely agree with Katie Hopkins 100% on what she's saying there. Let's just skip ahead into the interview and see what else they are talking about. Excuse me here.
Going contractors at the moment, there's quite an obesity epidemic. I think she said that 25% of people in the UK are now obese. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, I think we're coming back from that as well. I think that was before people were just chumbawambas, like just a lot of chunky people.
Is it okay to call a fat person fat?
100% it's okay to call a fat person fat. I think it's more respectful of a fat person to call them fat. And my experience with fat people is don't pretend they're not. You're fat. But if you're fat and you own it, epic.
But I don't think most fat people own it, do they?
I don't know about that, because people know my views about chumbawambas, in that I think if you're a chumbawamba, totally more power to you. You do that. Eat the fridge, blast through KFCs twice a week. You do that, but just don't ask me to believe it's not because you ate too much, and don't ask me...
Oh, so it's not the thyroid or...
Yeah, exactly.
No.
Don't ask me to pay for your new hip.
Yeah, and of course this is also important too, because as the West, you know, all Western countries, typically led by the United States, you know, the United States is famous for the number of obese people running around, or not running around, you know, waddling around or riding on these mobility scooters. But it's happening in Western Europe. It's happening in other places too. You know, as life gets easier and more automated, and we just get softer, and we, you know, gluttony skyrockets. Basically, it's not just lack of exercise; it's also gluttony. You know, there's just too much of everything. Everything is just too easy, and I know it myself. I mean, I speak from personal experience. Throughout my life, I've kind of gone up and down, and it's in weight, and it's absolutely, in my case, it's gluttony. You know, certainly not big bones or thyroid condition or anything like that. Of course, those things exist, but they are a very small percentage of the causes of the incidences of obesity. It's just gluttony for the most part. And people's metabolisms get completely messed up from all the food and sugar and junk that they eat. And I include myself in that too. You know, absolutely. Like this past year, 2024. At the end of 2023, I was fine. I had lost a lot of weight in 2023 and I kept it off till the end of the year. But then this past year, I slipped back, put on a lot of weight in 2024. And I'm going to have to take it off again soon. I have a big family event. For me, I know how I can do it. I have a hardcore way of losing weight, which I might talk about in another video. And I have a goal in mind because I have a big family event coming up in May. So I've got to get to work on it very soon. And it's going to be like 45 pounds, but at least 20 kilos to lose, around 45 pounds. Yeah, it's a lot. So it can be done, but that still doesn't fix the underlying cause, which I know I have. There are underlying causes, underlying imbalances in the way I'm thinking. So to get back to what Katie's saying, yeah, of course, I don't think I very much doubt Katie Hopkins goes around bullying fat people in the street. No, but you just have to call a spade, you know, and we can't pretend that, you know, being fat is just who you are, or being healthy at any size. This whole idea, you know, fit at any size, healthy at any size. No, actually, no. Obesity, which now they're calling a disease and all that's not a disease. It's just it's a result of lifestyle choices in the vast majority of cases. Yeah. And yeah, you know, for men, I agree. You know, men, friends, if one of your mates tells you, whoa, I'm looking a bit chubby there. Looking a bit chubby there, guy. Looking a bit chubby there, bro. Putting on some weight. You know, I would go, yeah, you're right. I am. I'm getting fat. I need to get back in the gym. I need to stop being a pig. Whereas for women, everyone says, well, you shouldn't talk to women like that. Well, I agree. You probably shouldn't. in general. Women and men are different, and they react differently to these kinds of things, by the way, because men and women are different. But yes, I agree certainly in principle with what Katie's saying. We shouldn't lie about reality.
Right? Own that, because you ate yourself to a new hip or new knees. And don't tell me it runs in the family, because there's one thing for certain, no fucker has ever run in your family, otherwise you wouldn't be in the position you're in. And don't tell me you've got big bones, because you haven't. It's because you eat too much. And as long as we're like that, then you're be as fat as you want. But no, I think we're coming back from it because I think young people want to look a certain way and see this fat crap was a load of old shit.
But 25%, my wife's very careful with her research. 25% of the UK clinically obese.
Yeah, it was 1 in 4 kids turn up to school already obese. Primary school.
That is mad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's shocking. I consider that child abuse when I see that. It's horrific. Absolutely horrific, because you really are setting your kid up for a lifetime of grief with that. I can tell you from personal experience, not that I was a skinny kid. I have a medium to slim build. And as a kid, I was skinny, but when I started earning money, when I was a paper boy when I was a teenager, or when I was a young teenager, like 12 years old for a couple of years. Remember that? In America, delivering newspapers. Used to do that on my BMX bike. It was fantastic. But I spent all the money on junk food and got really fat at that time. And it was like the worst time to do it, right when I was going through puberty. Really a bad time to do it. And it's caused me problems the rest of my life.
Got pretty chunky. But younger people are seeing this whole fat positivity, right? Body positivity. That shite's already over. So Victoria's Secret started engaging a whole bunch of the Chumbawambas. They can't sell a single pair of pants. And there's no surprise in that, because they're so far up the ass cheek of people who have fatty great arses. You're not going to sell a G-string when it's rammed up the arse of some Chumbawamba, are you?
Do you
Katie Hopkins certainly has a way with words. Absolutely. One of the reasons I love her.
not worry about hurting people's feelings?
No, not at all.
No.
Because they're happy to hurt their own bodies. So why is me pointing out what you've done to yourself? How does that make me in the wrong? But I will help you. I will support you. If you watch my fat story where I put on 4 stone in 3 months and lost.
For the Americans out there, 4 stone is, so 1 stone is 14 pounds, so that'd be 56 pounds, yeah. She famously put on a bunch of weight and then took it off like in 3 or 4 months, something like that, she's probably about to say, to make a point. And yeah, it is absolutely possible.
It again in 3 months to help, sure. So I don't think I'm offensive because I put my money where my mouth is.
Would you hire an obese person?
You know very well I would not.
I don't know.
You do know.
I don't know.
You do know. You're
Why
just
wouldn't
acting
you?
naive so that you can get away with being the good guy.
Well, I'm here.
Do you hire Chumbawambas? Have you got any Chumbawambas?
Yeah, we have.
Do you keep them in the back office?
No.
Do you put them in a cupboard?
No.
Do you feed them?
No.
Do you worry about your fridge?
No.
Do you lock down the cheese?
No.
Do you watch out for the sausages?
No.
Do you buy them elasticated wastewear?
Well, I don't do much of the recruitment, so I've.
I can't not laugh when they're laughing.
What? But okay. What if there's a coder?
I'm going to go into stand-up mode and
All
I can't help
you
it.
can do it. What if there's a coder and they're really fucking good at their job and they're obese? Why wouldn't you hire them if you want them to do their really good job of coding? That surely that makes you. We'll let you all have a fucking moment. Yeah, you have your moment. Just snorted.
So.
Right, so you need a really good coder. The best one for the job is obese, and you wouldn't hire them.
No.
Why not?
Because they're obese.
But you're not hiring them for anything other than doing the job.
And I'm not buying the idea that the very best coder in the whole planet is obese. That's just a convenient story for you to try and set me up with.
Well, I'm not so sure about that. I'm not a coder, but it's a notoriously sedentary job. But anyway, yeah, Katie's quite a provocateur, provocatrix. But her underlying points are valid, absolutely. And yes, you know, she gets a lot of hate because she's very straightforward. She does provoke. She is a troll in that way. But the underlying point is valid. 100%. I agree 100%. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you think Katie's going too far, as usual. Or if you want to hear my weight loss plan, because it works. I can 100% tell you it works. It's what I did in 2023. It's very, very simple. I'll tell you that now. Very simple, but it's not easy. I think you might have an idea of what it is. Very simple. Also very inexpensive. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments, and do like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. And I will see you in the next video.